Yo, Froggystyles here. We're back at it again, trying to close up the market. We got MediocreTrader down below. CSTrades over here to my one side. We're about to fire things up, so let's give things a couple more minutes, but I'm going to let MediocreTrader go ahead and open it up if you want, man.
Hey, I just want to say what's up, everybody. Welcome to the show. We appreciate all you guys, so let's get rocking here. And, don't send in some questions and stuff, and we'll try and get them answered. And we got some stuff to talk about, and we'll head on, get rolling.
Yes. CSTrades101. Oh, Wolf Pack is already in the house. So, Wolves and Frog's channel, and we got Mediocre's channel that's just hammering away. Right on, man. That's awesome. We had a really good episode this morning. Thank you, Froggy, for jumping in there. I know you're at work, jumping in there and just chatting away with us. That's awesome. We're like connected at the hip. It's kind of hard to walk with all three of us at the hip. We're doing it. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Froggy needs a little bit of time here, probably to get ready. He's just pasting our stream keys. I'm going to go over. I'm going to take, give the floor to Froggy when he's ready here. I'm going to go over and hit us on Wall Street Breakers and over on Reddit. I'm going to post this up on Reddit and Facebook over there. And we're going to get over there and get the Reddit boys in the house.
Yeah, Froggy's getting us up on the. Oh, you ready?
No, not yet. Give me a couple more seconds.
Yeah, Froggy's getting us set up on Ape Radio and all that, right?
Yeah,
getting
that's
that
right.
Radio channel going.
Oh, Ape Radio! Shout out to Ape Radio. I was on there last night, and Mediocre was on there too. Wow, that was very respectable. I was sitting down in the audience, like I don't know how many. They must have had like 50, 100 people on there. I don't know. It's pages and pages, and all of a sudden I went there, and they poof right to the top. They pulled me up to speak, and that was very respectable. I just wanted to say thank you. Like I totally respect that. I just hit the speak button. I was expecting like there was like 20 people that were speaking. I was blown away by that. So they recognized me right away, and I just came on there and just pretty much just told them that they're doing a good thing. We give them full support on our channel. There's links on our channel, and we're linked up on Twitter. Some of those people don't leave Twitter; they're just into Twitter, which is fine. Same with the Reddit people are just into Reddit. Same as with YouTube. So, but all together connected as a family, it is awesome stuff. Go ahead, Froggy. It's yours. I'm going to go over to Reddit and get us posted over there.
All right. So we got a question here from Blaker Family Firearms. Says, is 750 a reasonable target price? That's actually more than reasonable. I have higher price targets, but there's no guarantee that I'm actually going to be right. So, I mean, 750 could be more right than me. We won't know until they start covering. So things will change based upon how much they return. When they get to 50%, you look at that price, like once they return half the shares and you look at that price and it's like 350, then you'll know that the top is probably close to 700, just a guess. And then we still don't know what the FTDs and the synthetics look like. So there may be 3 bounces in that process. But yeah, good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't think it's super high. I would say I'm a little higher. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know that it'll make it to my place either. But my price, I think it could, but nobody knows. That's the key. Nobody really knows, but I don't think it's a bad price.
No, it's pretty fair. I mean, like I said, once the squeeze hits, all the numbers are all going to change anyways. I mean, who knows? Something wild and crazy could happen. We can go much higher. Something weird could happen. We can go lower. So, I mean, it's going to be, we got to wait for that moment to come. Hopefully everything is much higher than what we're expecting. But because the longer they draw it out, the more money they're going to have to pay. And if once they go bankrupt, I mean, that's pretty much all they can give you. So you can't get blood from a rock.
and I'll say this, right? No matter how high it goes, we'll say you exited at 750 and it goes to 2000. I'm just speaking hypothetical here, right? No matter what, green is green. Okay. If you got out of it green, you won. And that's all that really matters. So just keep that in mind. And, I don't tell people where to buy and sell, but I would just say that my target is basically my target. And if it makes it there, it makes it there. If not, it doesn't.
That's right.
The
Feel the same
goal is to
way.
be rich. That's the goal.
Yippers.
I mean, okay, so here's a question for everybody that's on the panel here. After the squeeze happens, no matter what the price, whether it's 750, 5,000, 10,000, I'm pretty sure that everybody up here will probably be able to retire pretty comfortably off of those numbers, I would assume.
Yeah.
So what's your plan of, like, what kind of work are you going to do afterwards besides just kicking back and enjoying the proceeds from, like, making money off your money?
Did you want me to take that right away?
Well,
Mine's. Go ahead.
yeah, I figured you'd probably have an OnlyFans, but
Yeah. I already have my plans already built on that. Ours is crazy because we've already had people trying to get in on this right now. Some of the Wolfpack members are already retired, and some of them are pretty well off, substantially. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be into dividend plays. We're gonna enter into that, some crypto. But for the actual, so that's the foundation, the AMC. Okay, that's a lot of us are doing. That's this. I've designed a system into that, and like I'm already tested the system out, and it's put me into retirement. So I already know it works. Okay, it's easy to obtain. Okay, so that's just icing on the cake. Actually, our channel is purchasing a compound down in Mexico. Wolfpack. We're gonna have like a traders thing live down there off of YouTube. We've already got we got eyes on the property already. We got some real estate agents down there. It's not a dream. It's actually happening. So all the mods on here can second that. I'm holding them back. We've already had people that want to purchase it, and I'm like, whoa, relax, because I don't want to overextend. Well, let's just let this thing finish. Okay. And it is what it is. I'm not going to get into too much detail on it. This isn't an 8 Island thing going on here. This is actual real stuff. So it's not hard to obtain. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to put too much detail into it. So our channel's not going anywhere. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we're already involved in, and it's just going to continue. Probably forever. And it's pretty much the core of the channel. There's the OGs on our channel. And I'm not saying that they're better than anybody else, but they're the ones that have taken money and put it aside for this. Like I said, I've been approached already to go down there and purchase this land. Okay. And I just said, just hold on to it. I'm ready to do it too. And I financially could do it, but I don't want to leave people behind. Okay. So that's all I wanted to say. I want it to be even for everybody. Okay. Cause that's what we're about. We're a family. So go ahead.
Yeah. For me, I'm taking my wife and we're going down to the Caribbean and we're going to get drunk on the beach and I'm going to get some monkeys drunk.
Yeah.
You ever seen those drunk monkeys down in the Caribbean? Yeah, that's where I'm going to be. Me and the monkeys, the primates,
That's awesome.
Nah, I'm probably going to invest in some businesses where I don't really have to work anymore. I don't know. And I'm going to, definitely travel some. Yeah, I might make it to the Caribbean. That's really kind of not a joke, But I'll be hanging down in Florida on a boat, relaxing. That's the plan.
That's
What about
awesome.
you,
Business
Froggy?
is the way. Business is the way to go, man. That's what mine is. Fully business. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Froggy.
I definitely want to
style.
do some sort of business and basically make money off of premium. I think probably stack silver until it explodes, like physical silver.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, it definitely.
Froggy wants to be filthy rich.
Yeah, he wants to be filthy rich. Me, I'm okay with just being rich. I would rather all the people around me to be filthy rich. I'm okay with it. I would rather just like I said, it'll be all investments. It's and it'll be all Wolfpack members putting in on it. So everybody's equal. I don't believe in one person owning more than the other. It's never been like that it's to be the same way that my channel runs now. Everybody's equal. That's why we're all family on here. Froggy, that was a brilliant. Whose question was that? Crypto? Oh, he's from my channel. Of course he knows. He's asking that.
Oh,
he's trying to grind me on it.
Yeah, they definitely haven't started covering. Let me pull this up here.
Yeah, let's look into this.
Let me take a peek here to see what it looks like. So as you can see, this is the money indicator here, and you can see that they've been driving it down for basically the last couple weeks, actually. So
is this off Trader View?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Wow, they have a whole bunch of cool.
They're not covering at all. They're actually at their lowest point. So 4.8 billion negative, which is definitely not good. So they're not even trying to cover. They did that little pump fake thing in there, and that's about it. And that's, yeah, it would be nice if they started covering. But let's take a peek at Max Payne today, because I do want to get that posted up while I still got a chance. So let me get that set up. I'm going to write that up here for people to see.
No, Gloria, you're not chop liver. I see you.
All right, so we got Max Payne currently sitting at between 20 and 21, so it's 20.50 plus or minus 50 cents. And then we got GME. So I'm going to pull that one up here in a second. You know, both covered.
I think harsh pull down this afternoon, eh?
GME sitting between 150 and 155. So you're looking at 152.50. So it's actually expected to go at least $1.80 lower by the end of the week. So that's not very good.
Buy more. Not financial advice, but just if it was me, I would just be buying and buying and buying, keep on loading that bank up.
Yeah, so the rest of the week's not looking too good unless some options change. I mean, right now you can see that it's moving up. I'm going to check that 30-minute to see if there's it's overpriced short term. So that means it's probably going to pull back down. Volume's starting to cut down too. Volume's real light. Look at it, 3.7.
I noticed that earlier, man.
So the question I have is how are there that many shares trading when the float is pretty much locked up? Where are they getting these things from? I think they're starting to pretend that there's actually a supply issue. Yeah, you can see it's oversold here on the 2-hour, but on the 30-minute, it's showing it's overbought. So there's a good chance it's going to pull back, possibly double bottom. I can't use that number because it's pre-market. It could be sitting pretty much at double bottom, but yeah, short term, it's definitely overpriced. Hopefully it does stay above 155, just because then you can have a gamma starting Monday, and that's definitely what you need. Get a peek back over here, 20. So we're sitting right at Max Payne right now on AMC. Like, they're trying harder to control this one than GME for some reason. And I know there's a lot of talk going on about that dividend thing for GME. So did you guys do any looking into that yet?
No. I this afternoon, you mean? Or first thing in the morning? Go ahead.
There's supposed to be that dividend thing that's going into effect for GME, which means there's going to be a share count.
Yeah. There has to be. And then they're gonna be pulling all those synthetics out of there. They have to. And then there's a tag of IRS tag going on there for the tax purposes. They're going to be tagging it. So each
Yep.
share has a tag lot number on it and a QP number. Cupid number, which is on all shares, but so you're very clear on that. I'll put my camera down. There you go. We can see me. So yeah, that's going to be huge. That could possibly do some kicking here. These things up a bit.
Now the thing I'm thinking about is, what is that, June 9th on the vote?
Yeah, and it'll probably take about a couple weeks to a month. It'll take a little bit for it to get to go through its cycle there, but when it does, wow, that's just cornering the shorts more. Like that just totally puts them up against. This was planned, okay. And so if they would have done a cash dividend, it would have, of course, it would have got rid of the synthetics, but it would have been totally different entities here. This is just like kind of shoving them up against the wall even harder. Right.
Is this a date that it's going to happen?
That's for the voting on the dividend.
Yeah.
What date is that?
Time after that, pain and suffering, because who's not going to say yes to that?
No, I think they're gonna, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, it's just that we don't have a date, and that date on the dividends when it's going to be implemented, even if there's a date on it, it could change because that's up to the government. There has to be a bunch of signatures on that stuff. Like I said, this is very serious stuff. The IRS is involved for taxes now. So, it's good. It's good.
Yep, that's definitely good for the GME folks. I'm waiting to see if Adam Aaron was able to get those debt covenants fixed so we can get the same thing. That's the one thing that I can't believe that we haven't got yet, because that would fix all the problems.
It would. Yeah,
and it's legal.
Yeah. There's certain ways, and that's definitely something they got cards they got pokers in the fire for sure. But there's a time and a place that to do this stuff, right? So yeah. But yeah, GME's sitting up at 2.03%, $56.71. AMC's down a bit. Like I said, I'm waiting for. I already told I told the Wolf Pack. I just jumped last week. I jumped $3,000. I'm gonna jump in another couple grand. As soon as it gets down to an area I wasn't comfortable yet. Like I said, I could possibly see another low. Okay, and I'm loading up. Like I said, I'm going to keep on loading and loading and loading and loading. Okay. That's just the way it is. That's why I'm not spreading myself. A lot of my channel members and all over I go, why are you not in the HYMC? Well, I do support it, right? Because it's tied to AMC, but I don't want to spread myself thin. I explain that thing is shorted to heck. They can control it. Even though it's going up, they can put it down. It's really versatile right now. It's just that's a totally different ball game. So I want to be very clear on that. I'm sticking to AMC and that's it. Okay. I know that I'm already in it. Right. So I'm very strong in AMC and, I've learned my lesson about spreading myself thin on other plays before. So that's why I keep on saying I'm adding. That's why you guys keep on seeing me adding to my pile of shares. Okay. And that's just not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing. And I do it live. I disclose this stuff live. I don't hide this stuff. Jeffrey!
Jeff's got a stack sitting over there.
Oh, yeah. Jeff is the stack. He's the man.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I got to say this because this is coming from Mr. Cam's mod. You know, they do not play. I appreciate all your mods. Mr. Jay is want me to say, hop on Froggy's right, bite Mr. Cam's right, and beat Mediocre's right. So I need everyone that's in the station car right now to come down and bite, and then the rest of the people that come in, like I said, at 3 and 3:30. But right now, I need all you guys to do that to bite Froggy, Mr. Cam, and Mediocre. You have to do that. Please. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank all of you. We appreciate you guys.
Circle the channels, my friends. That's the least you can do for us. This helps us out. Build killer question though, bro. This has been asked all day. We had Casey Shaw on this morning to cover it on my channel. You can go back and watch that from earlier today. But go ahead, bro. Rip this up there, Froggy.
All right. Ant Card says, guys, what do you think about Astro and Trey's DD? Should we buy puts on a trend down and calls on the uptrend? Can you explain the logic? Now, personally, I would advise against day trading AMC and GME. just because of the headaches with what could come from there. Because if you mess up and you're not a good enough trader, there's a good chance that you'll lose in your position. So I'm not saying even take your main position and sell it like, what Blue Ice is doing. That's kind of silly. If you got a good position, just leave it there. You're guaranteed what you got. But if you do have extra money for something else, and that's what I was doing. Like, I haven't done a day trade in a week and a half now. I'm just putting the money straight into AMC.
That's what I'm
Since
doing
we
too.
bounced off that bottom, I'm not even playing with it. So I'm just kind of pumping more instead of, because when we were downtrending or going sideways, I mean, I was taking my incoming money and just making money with it. And now I'm not doing it. I'm just putting it straight in. So I've been pretty quiet about my trades because I'm just putting it in. I'm not even trading it now. Just waiting for like more upward movement, and then I got to reevaluate what's going on. But what they're saying to do, yeah, it makes sense. But the problem is somebody's going to lose money in that process, and it's not the market maker. So,
You're so right, bro.
when you got a million people that jump in and buy calls, and it runs up, there's a good chance half of them won't even get out. The first half that got out got the money. The other half are going to get stuck holding the bag. It's not worth the risk because every transaction you do, the market maker makes money.
Yeah.
So don't give them that. Just buy, hold.
Yeah. Diaz is in the house. Sorry, I had to.
What do you guys think on that one?
Yeah, same as you, bro. If you're not experienced in doing it, watch what you're doing. Like, the average is high to lose your money. Like I've talked about before, like it's 80-90% that you'll lose your money. Like, seriously, I don't know what I'm doing on it. I wouldn't jump in on that. Like, the safest thing is to buy and hold, right? Go ahead, Mediocre.
I don't think that their DD is wrong in any way. I think that they're putting out solid information. I do think that we should have more conversation on what the effects and the outcome would be, right? If there's approximately 4 million shareholders, I'm just going to throw that number because it's a single number.
Fair.
If 4 million people, like Froggy just said, piled in on call options, right? Somebody has to buy the other side, and eventually the play is going to turn around and go the other way, right?
Yeah.
So I do agree with their theory on, pile driving them, no matter what the direction it is, right? In theory, it works, but what would be the overall outcome is what worries me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I trade options like that, so I mean, I don't want to see anybody lose any money. So I'm on the fence about it.
But
What they're describing is 100% correct. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
And you know how to trade. The average person does not know how to trade options. That's the problem. That's what we're getting at, is the options. If you don't know how to trade, stay out of it. That's all. If you do know how, you know what to do, right? So
here's my thought on that too. Like, okay, so you got the risk that you would increase by playing an option that you don't understand. So there's a good chance you're going to get blown out. If everybody was to load up on, like, we'll say 21, 22 or whatever, if the market maker decides, no, I'm going to screw all of them, drop it down, we all get wiped out. So there's no point of everybody loading up and giving them a better price target to make more money. So what we should be doing is figuring out who's allowing these people to screw us this way and go after those people and say, look, knock it off. Because, like, sitting here playing an option that they can avoid your option doesn't make any sense, because if you go in and you're 10x leverage, you're going to get blown out that much quicker. So it's not that you're going to, like, the theory is we load up on an option, it's going to get delta hedged and it's going to rip and run. Trust me, they're not delta hedging nothing. They don't care.
Nope.
I mean,
since June, I've been watching it. There is no delta hedging going on. So who's to say they're going to, like, okay, so they're creating fake shares. They're creating IOUs. They're not covering things. But you expect them to delta hedge in your favor? You've got to be kidding me if you trust them.
I see Lady Kate, that's the space call, and she came down to the stream, the live stream. Lady Kate, we appreciate you.
I've seen that.
She's with 8 Radio as well. She just joined 8 Radio. Plus, she's a big supporter, Lady Kate. Thank you.
Yeah, if she wants to come up and speak, she can. She's welcome to come on up.
Do you have a
I just
question?
want to say
Max
Max Payne theory is pretty I think it happens every week. I'm just going to say that. You know, I'm not so sure it's really a theory, right? Like they say, you hear people say conspiracy theories, right? But when they become fact all the time, how can you keep calling them theories? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think
Well,
the Max Payne theory is
if I remember right,
fact.
back a year ago, the people over on Reddit already called this out, that they were going to start doing max pain and price pinning to try to control the stock. And that got deemed conspiracy theory. And as time went on and we kept rocking the boat by pushing things up and delta hedging and all that stuff, they went to max pain. That was their alternate thing that they started doing. They detached from reality at that point, because if they would have kept letting us overload the calls, you would see Junes happen every month. And in order to stop that, you just stop delta hedging, and you can't get a gamma squeeze. It's just that simple. So
Bush is in here. He's favoring that. He's from Terrible. He's part of Terrible. Terrible and Spence.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good, man. How are you?
How you doing?
Good. And yeah, I watched that video and everything Trey and Astro came out with. I mean, you know, it looks interesting, but you know, this morning, you know, Mark came in our call, and you know, like he's active short seller too, and you know, so I asked him a question, because you know he knows both sides of the aisle. So I asked him a question. I said, is put like whatever they came out with a video, and is it a good way to go with it? And he said, like plain and simple, like puts mean bearish, right?
Yeah.
If you want to short a stock, that's what you do. He's like, all this time we've been talking about like how we should buy and hold, you know, how we have, instead of doing this, I don't know why even we have to go with this. Like why this is even a conversation, you know, like why? Because if like, okay, say if we all buy the puts, and tomorrow if people, all those folks, those who lost the money, who's going to take the responsibility? Nobody, right?
Exactly.
People will lose their money, and you know nobody's going to take the responsibility. Instead of that, why are we not focused? Let Adam do his thing, and you know why don't we have something like, you know, maybe in few months he got something with the dividend up. Maybe he got some other ideas just with HYMC. Like I think that's one of the best investments AMC did. They're already doubled their money. And who knows how many other investments like that, or what else he has up his sleeve. Instead of doing that, if you will distract the people, and why it is always that when a stock gets hammered, like people start painting this narrative, like they don't see like people are hurting with so much money and how much money they're down. Like is it only about followers and views left for some people? There's more to life here on the line, you know, and if this community gives you a big voice, use it with a responsibility, because it's your responsibility. If people made you something, you know, everybody who's in this community, nobody is nothing without this community. It doesn't matter anybody what they say, we are all because of this community. So instead of taking, you know, be responsible, back it with facts, back it with some truth, and like if you have some experience like me, I don't know nothing about the options, right? And if you can't educate me, if you can't do nothing about it, and then you just will ask people to do, you know, oh, YouTube, maybe here's the option like this. I mean, that's gonna do a lot more damage than good. And you know, if people lose money, nobody will take the responsibility, man. So think twice before you know, ask people, or you know, put a word out there to do something like that.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Shug. I do. You know, buying puts on AMC is bearish. I guess, Froggy, what do you think? Maybe you've already talked about it. I kind of came in here a little late. What do you think about Trey's video?
I have respect for Trey and Astro and their thought process, but I still think you're talking about a lot of people don't even know how to day trade, and suggesting to do options is even crazier. You're talking about increase of risk. If you make one bad move, you can get blown out. It's not worth the risk. Everybody's safer where they're at right now. And I don't think what they're thinking about doing is going to make a difference. We have a lot of calls that are there, and they're just not being delta hedged, so they're not going to move anything. So, I mean, like I said, I don't want to go against Trey and sound like the bad guy here, but I have to look at what's best for the people, and it's safety first. The options, there's enough people playing options now that should make a difference, but they're not being hedged. And like, if they can prove that there's hedging going on, not based upon rule, because there's rules that you shouldn't be naked shorting, manipulating, spoofing. We know all them rules exist, but they're not being honored. So who's to say that they're even honoring the have to delta hedge your stuff? That you can't trust them, and I don't believe they're delta hedging. So that because that's how you keep the gamma squeeze from happening is you don't delta hedge, and if you don't delta hedge, you can't get a gamma ramp. So they know how to completely stop everything, but what we should be looking at is who's allowing them to do this.
Yeah, I mean, the information that they put out isn't necessarily bad information, but I think it should be talked about, like what's going on here, and more light be shined on it. If everybody did that, it would be, I think, a great risk to people who don't play options for one, and I don't know. I think it's a slippery slope, and I like Trey. I know I watch Trey, and it's not the information that he put out that's bad, but I just think that it needs to be talked about more, and people shouldn't jump the gun, And I'll leave it at that.
I honestly think Trey lacks the experience to go and even push that idea, because you figure, like, he's what, 20 some years old, and he's just starting to figure out how to swing trade and day trade, and he's playing with options and stuff, and it's cool. But you're talking about like
people's
big
lives.
lack of experience. Like, he's probably
lives.
never done a squeeze play before. He's never probably dealt with options enough to understand it. And last thing he wants to do is have like 30,000 of his followers go put puts on something and watch the market maker move it the opposite way, because they can. The market maker makes the market. When
That's
you know
right.
you can't trust where they price pin that stock, Max Payne is price pinning, where they pick a target and they shoot at it. Now, if you put your price on there and they see you on the board and they're like, we're going to go screw these people, they're going to screw you. And that's just the way it is for Max Payne.
Because they can see our orders. We can't see their stuff, but right up front, but they see all of our stuff. That's part of the problem, And I don't trust the market makers at all. You guys all know that. I state that very clear every day. So I don't know. I mean, theoretically, it all sounds good, but I don't know.
It's not about, like, we are just sharing ideas. Nobody's disrespecting anybody, but it's just about doing the right thing. Like, if you want people, like you said, we need to have somebody who has experience, like, teach us. Take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We are not going anywhere, right? Like, guide us in that direction that we can, somehow we know what we are doing. And, let people don't just lose their ass, because I know somebody who lost a lot of money on options, and he just down the hole. He'll never come out of that thing again.
What's your name, brother? What's your name? You're smart. You're a smart person. I like your style. You seem like you have a head on your shoulders.
He's Sugar Cook. His name is Sugar, just like it was Sugar Cook. She's with Spence and Terrible. And I do want to say, I do see Spencer here. I thank you. Because
thank you.
He promoted Froggy's channel earlier today. He was him, Jen, Sugar Cook. They were, Spence had a call, a safe call, and they were promoting Froggy like crazy. They told everybody to make sure they come over here. So I appreciate you guys. And Spence, he must have disrupted, but he was just in here. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I appreciate that. I just tweeted out the calls like fun.
What you guys are doing here, man, I'm not smart like you guys. I'm just a truck driver, but I love this community. I care about people, and I say what's in my heart. I'm not here for,
Sure, you're a smart guy.
You are, dude. Don't underestimate yourself. What you
but
just said right there.
you guys, like all you guys, like Froggy, you and DY, what you guys are doing here is really genuine. Like you guys care about people and you don't want them to lose their money. And genuinely, when you care about people, that's what it's all about. So I wish more people, like I know Lion does a excellent job, Eric does excellent job in guiding people. So I wish there were more people like you guys. So keep it up, brother. I'm just lucky to be a small part of this beautiful community, man. Thank you.
Now, I'm not going to completely shoot the idea down because I could be wrong and maybe they've seen something because they're pretty smart guys. So I'm not objecting listening to their point of view. So I'm going to try, I should try to get them on here and we can have a great big TA fest with everybody. Bring in all of our TA guys, Astro, Trey, and get them in here and let them explain their theory and see if we can crunch it. And if we can all come up with the same answer that it makes sense, maybe it's an idea. But if you can't convince people that actually day trade, that do option trades and stuff like that, that this is a good idea. I mean, we're all older here on this panel. We have experience and they're younger. They don't have quite as much experience, but maybe they found something and they didn't explain it well enough in the video to make it seem convincing to somebody that's looking at it. And I don't want to be closed-minded on stuff. So I'm gonna leave it open. I'm going to reach out to those guys and see if we can get them to come on for a complete debate about it. Civil debate, just so we can see if either we're right or they're right, but the answers will come out and we'll figure it out. And, that I think that's the best approach is you want to hear both sides of the story. Let's weigh out the pros and cons and see if it's a viable thing. And I think it's good for everybody to find out is this really a strategy that's usable? I personally don't think so, but I'll listen to it and, give it an honest thought. So just to be fair about it.
I mean, I think an open mind is very good,
The one, and then Troy has something to say too. But I think the one wants to speak from radio, the one we appreciate. If you don't want to speak right now because you're working, I do understand, but you'll come on later. I do get that. But Troy's been having his hand up, been wanting to speak for a minute here.
Can I say something first?
Yeah.
I was just, Trey's a big influence. He's a great guy. He's an entertainer. First video I watched that got me into buying and holding AMC was Trey. And he's doing okay financially now. The problem with this is we wouldn't like the hedge funds to meet together and to collusion on the options change. We don't think that it's fair or legal for other people to talk about options and how they collude together. So I'm going to stay as far away from this topic. I think it's something that opens him for legal obligations that makes me worry about the man. And I think it's probably the worst thing he's ever advised. I love the guy, but it's one of the worst things you could probably say is to go buy puts on AMC. Who am I to get into options? I just don't like the legal ramifications that can happen from this, and I don't think it's going to be healthy for the community.
I agree.
Well, okay, so I agree with part of that, and I'll defend Trey on this one because we all have a strategy that's called buy the dip and hold. So everybody knows the strategy. If this is actually a viable strategy, putting it out there is not saying go out and do it. It's just proving that it could be a viable strat. I'm not saying I'm suggesting it. I'm just saying that, if there is an alternate solution to something, we should debate it out and see if it's even possible. Because there's strategies everywhere. As long as they're not saying this is what you should do, we got to prove that it even is a viable thing before it can even be mentioned. And if we have a good debate about it and it gets shot down, then we go on to the next thing and it never gets looked at again. It wouldn't be collusion per se if you're just telling people, where the strategy of buy the dip and hold, that came out of nowhere. Everybody heard it. We all did it. And that's how it worked. And it's not collusion. Now, like I said, I'm not suggesting to do what Trey or Astro suggested. I'm just saying, let's have a debate about it. If it turns out to be something that makes any sense, like
Well,
if you can convince a panel of
that's where they legally stepped the line. They suggested it. I don't suggest that you go buy and hold. I buy and hold personally. What I do with my options, he could say, I'm going to buy some puts. Okay, that's just what I'm going to do. I'll let you know how that works out for me.
Yeah.
Now, if you say you need to go buy and hold, that's different. So
I think they just put out a theory, though.
About, you know, getting people to buy puts. Like, you can say that he's going to buy puts, and I'll let you know how it works out. Or I can say I'm going to buy and hold. But when you're now telling other people you should consider buying puts, it's kind of you're not telling your personal information. You're literally trying to get more people to join you. And that's collusion.
He didn't actually say that, though.
He's kind of crossing.
I
In
agree
his defense,
with that.
he didn't actually say that, though.
Going on the chat. His name is Troy Gus. His name is Troy.
Froggy, you got to hold them up for a minute. I got to say something.
Hold on, guys. We got Mediocre Trader wants to step in here.
Listen, Trey didn't actually tell anybody to buy puts. I just want to put that out there right now. He didn't come out and say buy puts. That's not what he said. And you can look at it as going the other way. When he said to pile drive them, that it didn't mean buy puts. It meant either direction. I just want to make that clear. All I'm saying and my stance on it is that we should probably have an open mind and look at the information at hand and see if there's anything there that is accurate, right? But look at both sides of the tokens, right? So nobody's going to, because if people tried this theory and then people got burned, that's not a good thing for the community. I agree 100%.
No.
So I think I would never tell anybody how to trade anything with their own money. That's not how I operate, number one. And I don't think that Trey did that either in his defense. But I think that having a conversation with them guys about what they put out, and if there's anything really in that information, is not a bad thing for the community. What do you guys think?
I'd rather have a debate about it because I can't see myself putting puts on AMC. That would be kind of foolish, almost blatantly stupid in my opinion, just because of the fact that you know how many people are holding longs, and then you go and put puts on it and you put downward pressure on it, you're screwing them. So
exactly,
like that's not a very smart idea. I could see buying calls and getting in and out of calls and doing a day trade thing, but even that, I highly advise against swing trading AMC because like then you start creating this volatility, which makes people panic, and you don't want panic at this point. So that's why I always suggest going anything but AMC and GME, because like if you're going to swing trade it, pick a big stock the way it's supposed to be, you know, like pick a Netflix, a Facebook, you know, just pick a big stock, swing trade it, get your money, then take your profits and dump it back on your main play. And like I said, I would like to have a complete debate with
that's fair.
Trey
That's fair.
and Astro, just because of the fact that like I have a lot of experience on this stuff and I can't find it. Like I have zero confidence of even trying to do anything that they suggested. It makes sense that options is the reason why it would explode, but and I get it. It's like a rock the boat theory where it's rocking back and forth and you're just assisting on it to roll it over. I get it. It makes total sense. But the market maker does not have to play ball with you. They don't have to follow the rules. They're not being enforced. So you're bound by rules. They're not. How do you expect to win against a cheater? And and that's my problem is we're safer until the rules are fixed to where they have to play by the rules by playing a long position until something changes. And even at that, look what is happening with GME. They're not rocking the boat. They're not trying to do anything wild with options. They're offering a dividend. And it sounds like checkmate coming. So it's like, why can't we just do one special thing to where we have an actual share count and, you know, like that, you know, where there's a dividend that's offered that pretty much puts everything in check. Everybody knows that dividends keep shorts out. So
And synthetics.
You
too,
know,
100%.
maybe he's already had something up his sleeve. Maybe
That's
he's
what I'm
already, you know, maybe he's already got something on that he will, you know, bring it on the earnings call or something. That's my whole point. Is like, let's not get any trouble, because, like you said, the law only applies to us. It doesn't apply to those greedy. Okay, divas here. I'm sorry. Sometimes I
100%
good,
correct.
brother.
I agree with him on that.
I agree with you too, bro.
But like Troy said, you know, like, we don't want any. You can do a poll first before even you bring those guys up, because I don't want like more like, you know, division or anything in our community. Like, do a poll, like, see how many people want to, like, really want to even go into this before we jump into anything like this. And you know, I put my trust in Adam before I put my trust in anybody else, man.
I agree with you right there. I think Adam's done enough right now to prove that if you give him more time, that things will play out, because there's no way he's watching Ryan Cohen put out dividends. And because if you notice, he'll do a move, Ryan Cohen will do a move, then he'll do a move. They're like walking it back. And I'm like, just give him another week or two and see, it's his turn. They're just playing chess against the hedgies. And like, Ryan Cohen made his move. It sounds pretty cool. Now we're waiting to see. It's Adam's turn. What are you doing? And because you know he's got a plan. He's been offensive. Look at his Twitter. Like, he's not being nice no more. He's talking about people eating crow. Like, he's seems like he's beating his chest and he's not even running yet. So I would give him more time before starting to consider wasting money on options and trying to like rock the boat. Like, we're all safe here. And
Exactly.
And I'm very pro getting this thing to squeeze as soon as possible, because like, I want that money, but safely is important, because like, yeah, I know I can get in and get back out. I have experience. How many people here have experience in options? Not too many. So most likely there's a chance someone's going to get smoked, and I don't want to see that. So
exactly, and that's what we were
that's
talking
great.
about. But I think a conversation isn't a bad thing. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Oh, this is perfect.
nobody should just go off and do their strategy. I'm not even going to say it's a strategy, their theory, right? I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. I think that more investigation should be done, and we should wait. We're in a safe spot right where we're at, right? In my opinion, I mean, I don't know. I still have all my shares. That's all I can tell you guys.
yeah,
Okay, I have a question. It pertains to this. Then I have one for somebody who just sent me one. He's working, but this is from Weston. He's saying, Froggy.
Oh, hi, Weston.
I said, Froggy, wouldn't have messed up the whole mode squeeze that we've been fighting for over a year? Wouldn't it put us back? That's what Weston is asking you.
Well, technically, they need us to sell our shares. So if you went and jumped into puts, you'd be selling your shares going into a derivative, which is technically not even a share. So they would actually win in that sense, because they would get you to sell. And then if you get smoked over there with that multiplier, when you come back, there's a good chance you won't have anywhere near the amount of shares. So we'll say you go out and buy puts and the price goes up. Well, guess what? You just got smoked in the puts. Then you try to go back to your long position and it went up. So you lost ground there too. So it's a double negative. So I'm not saying that was what was suggested, but now what if you go and buy calls and they price pin it down? Well, you get smoked there too. And you're talking like a 10-to-1 ratio. So if it drops like, 1%, you lose probably more than 10% or so. But then you try to go back to your long position and you're already down 10%. So it's like, you're just safer where you're at, because you don't have to worry about theta decay and all that goofy stuff, price pinning. Like, you can hold for here to 5 years and still have the same amount of shares and nothing changes. You go.
So, Froggy, I got a question for you. Who controls the IV on an options trade?
Market maker.
What affects the price of an options trade?
The price?
Does IV affect the price of an options trade?
Yeah, IV does control the price, but it's based upon volume and volatility.
Isn't one of the biggest option traders in the world Citadel?
They control it, like 40% of the market.
Just giving your money to Citadel, guys.
my point here is to not to knock their theory, okay? But if everybody got into a call option, we'll not even talk puts. He said
Yeah.
pile drive, and that can mean either direction, okay?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say puts specifically. He was referring to both directions. I'm just going to say that. But if 1 million people piled into, say, a $25 call option that would drive up the IV, and they control the IV, so they're going to manipulate the stock, the IV price, so that you don't make money, because that's what they do, right? You're not going to beat them at their game. They control the game. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just saying we should have a more of a conversation, an open conversation.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. A conversation on it would be big. See, here's the thing that I know about options. Like, I want to teach people how to sell calls or puts to make money with their money. So when you go and buy their traps, you could be the one making them money. So you don't want to technically be buying them unless you're just swinging them real quick. But even in this scenario, you don't want to do that with a squeeze play, because it's super dangerous. That you don't even see me doing it, and I love options. So
I think Renee has a question. Been having the hand up for a while, and then I have some questions once you're done.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I agree.
Go ahead.
The love connection. I love you, Pantheon.
I agree with the general sentiment of having a conversation about this strategy and evaluating it in more detail. I have not seen Trey's videos, so I can't really speak on the details of that. But I agree with the sentiment of at least having the conversation to understand how that works. And for me, part of that conversation is having a fundamental understanding of how the hedge funds would hedge for put options, just like how they would hedge for call options. And I think that has to be discussed if it wasn't discussed in the video already. The second thing I have is more of a comment.
Nope, you cut out.
Yeah, he cut out. I want to hear what he had to say, though.
Yeah.
He'll probably come back, but I have a question here. It says, can you ask Froggy his thoughts on Melvin's Q1 earnings, please?
What was their Q1 earnings? Was it negative?
They're asking your thoughts on it.
I don't even know what they had for earnings on it, so I can't really tell you. If you guys got something on that, let me know. Kim, you want to check that out? Oh, he's looking into it now. We'll get back to you here in a second.
Melvin was down like 23%.
Sorry, I was on Reddit posting our links over there, talking to some people on Reddit, trying to get them all on the same page as us. Sorry about that.
They were down 3% for the quarter?
I think I saw 23% on the quarter. Unusual Whales tweeted it out that they were down. I'll look here and see if I can find it.
I'm grabbing that right now. Real quick.
Oh, the wolf joins us. Here we go. The leader. Say hi, Finnegan. Say hi. Here's the wolf pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'm not surprised, because Melvin Capital, if I remember right, was in Facebook when it dropped 20%. They were like in Netflix too, and they were in some other bad plays that didn't work out for them. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of not surprised. They are a short, but hopefully they got smarter after the GME mess.
Melvin for Q1 was down 20.6%.
They'll be the first of many dominoes to be reporting bad numbers, because there's a lot of nasty shorts out there. They were just greedy.
Is that your thoughts? They want your thoughts on it. They should ask Froggy his thoughts on Melvin Q1. They want your thoughts.
Personally, I'm not a fan of Melvin Capital because of what they did to GME. So I mean, it serves them right that they went and shorted a company trying to destroy it, and they got caught for it. So, and this is a recent quarter, so that means that they've made more mistakes, and that's, I don't know. It might be karma. they're part of that group over there too.
I haven't looked at anything on it.
They're going to get hurt more because isn't Citadel recalling back some of that money that they lent them? So
And 0.72.
yeah, so
I think Citadel bailed them out so that Citadel could keep their short position open and not get blown up. That's what Mark Cahoes had said, and I after he stated that, I was like, I kind of agree with that. They gave them the bailout so that if they had to cover their entire position, their entire short, I think it would have triggered a lot of things. So Ken had to bail out Melvin so Melvin could stay afloat and keep some position open and allow some dominoes to fall, but not all of them.
Yeah, it makes total sense too, because like they could have helped out Robinhood and they decided to go and screw them, and then they went and helped Melvin with the same exact amount of money, and it's like, you know, obviously they were helping their team player, but that's the whole domino thing. If one falls, the rest might fall, and in that play, Melvin was huge deep into GME, so that could have probably hurt somebody pretty bad.
Yeah, Michael Jordan felt his few $100 million loss at Melvin. So
yeah, it
just shows you how deep they were.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad scenario there.
Bill has a question. He's been holding up in the space call.
Where's he at here?
This is under sugar cushion. It's you, sugar cushion, and Bill.
Oh, okay. Bill, go ahead. Floor is yours, man. I'll give him a second. He might be AFK. So Pantheon says someone sent me a link and it said it was the Love Connection. Hello there, fellas. Yeah, we're definitely the Love Connection over here. Gives me a chance to play with my board a little bit.
That was good. That was perfect. The song and everything, man. That was dope.
I think Spence is back. Our friend Spence is back up in the chat. I'm in the space call. Thank you, Spence, for promoting Froggy this afternoon in your space call. Appreciate you, Spence. Thank you. I guess he wants to speak. We have the speaker on the speak.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on, man? How you
What's
doing?
up? What's up, brother?
Just looking at Terrible's post about the HYMC tape at the end of the day.
Oh,
Pretty big orders went in.
let me pull that up.
Be happy. I see a 316K, lots of 2000s, some 12Ks. A lot of green, that's for sure. So I'm pretty happy with that. I need my gold, man. I need my gold. Yeah, boy.
Right on.
Yeah, there is some big orders that came in.
I haven't even looked at the chart since the bell rang, to be honest.
Let me pull up that chart real quick because
That's what happens when you're on here.
Huge inflow with 2.5 calls expiring on Friday. At least it looks like that.
Got a beautiful $1.95 double bottom across the 3-day period. And overall, chart wise, we're repeating a cycle that's happened 2 times to me. It looks like already from 28.40 on the first run to 228. And then we kind of came back down, cooled off, kind of downtrended a little bit on the daily, and then boom, another candle to 310. And then we're kind of coming back down again, but we're not just dropping off. I'm hoping this repeats that same cycle for the next, 10 days or so to the 14th, and we see another boom candle.
Yeah, we definitely have solid support at 2032 is what I got.
Oh, you're on AMC?
Yeah.
I was just checking out HYMC.
HYMC.
Yeah.
And look at the overall market today compared to AMC and GME and HYMC. Citadel's, most of their top holdings and Melvin's top holdings were down anywhere from 4 to 10%. I mean, they got absolutely smoked today.
Oh, that's going to hurt them in the long run. Like, there's no way they have collateral for all this damage. There's no way.
Oh, no. They're
Absolutely.
over-leveraged,
There's
sure.
no way Melvin has collateral. There's no way Citadel maybe through some shady methods or something, but I know for sure that when your long positions go down drastically and your short positions are not following, you're in big trouble.
Oh yeah, they're over-leveraged for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so 2011 is what I'm seeing for the bottom on AMC. We got a wedge, a small wedge popping up. It's a 2-day wedge, which is kind of nice. Confirmation breakout at 21. We was up there, but the wedge was still tapering down. It got rejected at 21.96 or so, and then yeah, tomorrow would be nice to see a breakout. We deserve a break and an uptrend.
Well, we were out of healthy starting, trying to do an uptrend until that big green candle hit, which I really think, in my opinion, somebody snuck in and tried to cover under Citadel's nose. And Citadel realized it too late, and that's why they had to trigger that halt, man. That's so now we've basically just taken back that big green candle around that 2011, which you were talking about. We kind of just covered that gap, and now I think, to me, it looks like we should just start uptrending again, more healthily, not so volatile. So hopefully we take back that $34 range, or at least the $30 range in the next few weeks. Anyways, so I'm pretty happy with everything right now. It looks red, but overall, if you zoom out and you look over the period of a month, we're not doing too bad, man. You know, we were sitting at 1290 not even a month ago.
Yeah, I think it's pretty calm myself. That's what I mean. It's like it's not worth getting all worked up over.
Yeah, I'm seeing 22 possibly for tomorrow, so that's definitely a good sign. Now, even though Max Payne is still showing you that you're, it's going to be under 21. I mean, but if we can get to 22 and hold tomorrow, and then walk out Friday at 22 and a quarter, something like that, we'll pop up pretty good. We only have 22,000 options at 21 and 22, so. I mean, it's not like we're going to get a big boom, but every dollar above that has a stack sitting on it. So we're due for something to go upward.
I think maybe some major liquidations happened this past couple weeks. If you look at the top hedge funds that are shorting AMC, like the big boys, and you look at their long positions, somebody's been unloading, and I don't know if it's because they want cash or because they're meeting their margin requirements. But either way, it's looking really, for the fundamental play of the squeeze on AMC and GME and HYMC, with everything going on, it looks good to me. I think it actually looks better than I've seen in a long time.
Hey, Mediocre Trader, do you see what I just pulled up here? I'm seeing
The chart.
I'm seeing a volume like decline here since like 6 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked that from way back here and I decided to draw that line. Looks like we're in a bigger wedge. And then as you can see, it looks like we are coming off of a support down here. But we've had other supports that fell. Like this one here was a good one and it fell down. But the volume keeps going down and down and down. And that was one of my questions. If we got 90% of the float, in theory, and hedgies have, or the institutions have 36%, how are we getting like 100 million trading volume? It doesn't make any sense. So they have to be passing them shares around just to create volume.
That's what I'm interested in, what Trey and Astro had said. That's kind of why I want to have that conversation, because that was part of what they were talking about as well. So I'm not promoting what they said, but I want to know, like, is there data to support what they were saying about how they're coming up with these shares to trade?
Like we're compressing really good right now since our pop back when we hit 34. We've been compressing every day since. And usually what happens is just like a spring, when we come out of whatever wedge we're in, it's going to come out hard. And that's where we're going to get that violent movement like what we had back there. But that was also a gamma push too. So
yeah, here I agree with you here. I'm going to show my chart too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because I got that same wedge. Here, let me just get over to the thing and I'll share it.
Now you guys are comparing wedges. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing
Wedgies.
some comedy in here.
We're sharing wedgies. Let me see. I believe that's the chart.
Yep.
What does common sense investors say? The strategy right now is to stop buying.
See my
I'm not
wedge?
gonna.
This is on the 1 hour here.
No.
So let's go to the 30
I
minute
think
real
everybody
quick.
should keep doing exactly what they're doing right now because Adam Aaron is taking care of business on the backside. We're strong in support with float ownership on the front side. And I'll tell you the charts between let's say this, between 4/26/2021 and 6/02/2021.
Yeah.
If you compare between that with March 1st and today, it looks like we're lining up for a really big run. It just looks really familiar. It feels really familiar. SI's up, utilization up, cost of borrow is going up. But this time you have a smarter community, a bigger, smarter community with more float ownership.
Huge.
Plus the hedges are way down on their positions, on their long positions. They have half the liquidity that they had back in June of 2021.
Oh yeah, they're getting smashed.
So I just want to say this. If you look, the MACD is climbing up here on the half hour chart. RSI is kind of flat, right? We got this wedge here, and where my support line is, 2032 is where I said. Our wedge is coming down right here. It bounced off the wedge. It's back up on the 2032 line. If it starts to come up, the 1348 is going to cross here, and we're going to break this wedge, and we're going back up to 2348 is what I got. What do you think of that?
I like it.
I think we're still going up either which way. I think we're oversold as it is right now. So this is better than sitting at 13 back like a couple weeks or a couple days back. So, I mean, we're moving up off of a bottom to a higher low, and that's always positive.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. And I just keep on the power to them. Don't let up. Pedal to the friggin' metal.
CSTrades, that's CSTrades. Common sense investors say we need to let the volume drop. Do you guys agree with that?
No,
definitely not. Keep them pushed against the wall. I'm buying more shares. I'm going to buy a couple thousand as soon as it goes, probably maybe this week or next week.
Volume is liquidity. Volume means the stock is moving, right? Lower volume means we're flat. We're dead, in my opinion.
Well, look what happened when Lou told us to stop buying. We got crushed.
I'm not telling anybody to buy or sell. I'm talking about volume.
Volume, yeah, strictly.
When I look at my chart and I see a volume candle, I'm not looking for low volume. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Card says invite Pantheon on the mic. Pantheon, if you want to come on and speak, man, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. Pantheon does say days to cover is the average volume over the past 3 months, and that volume is manipulated. It means nothing in a short squeeze. He's 100% right, because it's based upon how many sell orders are actually available, and there's no way they can cover 130 million shares by looking in the order book. It's just not there. They'll be blown out after the first million purchased. The whole book will be almost wiped out after a million or two. They know it. That's why they're doing this. Or if it was that easy to cover, they would have already done it.
Have you guys looked at the yearly chart? I know usually with a lot of other stocks, I don't look at the yearly, but the AMC yearly chart, I almost want to say you can see specifically via the MACD where they really started shorting hard and got caught. And then we had some big MACD movement on the upside, which is getting ready to actually flip green. So I think, man, I don't know. I hate to say things are coming, but I'm going to tell you, I think April 11th through the 15th is going to be a really big week for meme stocks.
I hope so. We deserve it. It runs in cycles. You know that.
Just talking about options. If we don't, I'm going to lose $1,000 in options. I bought on AMC talking about options because I didn't know, what I was doing. So I bought for April 14th.
See, that's what you're just talking about, brother, about that, right?
What did you buy? You said 250s? $2.50?
No, I don't even remember. But I'm down to the bottom. I don't even look at it anymore, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Keep an eye on it next week for sure, man, because the options change pretty loaded up.
Yeah, you said
you're 14, so.
Yeah, you said expiration's 14.
Yeah, unless there's something big going on, I try to hold options all the way at expiration. I've gotten burned too many times hopping out of something to keep some money and to have it explode. But I just be careful.
Yeah.
Now here's a comment by Pantheon. It says, my point is the days that cover is irrelevant. It's a stat that doesn't matter. Can we agree to disagree? See, here's the thing. The last thing I have ever paid attention to for anything has been days to cover because it is pretty much irrelevant.
It doesn't mean anything.
I go right into the order book and I start counting it up and I can see how many orders are actually there. Granted, people are going to take profits when it runs up. And then I look at the short position and say, okay, they got 130 million that they're going to cover, and the order book only has like 2 million shares. Good luck. Yeah. So your cost of the cover is going to be however long it takes to trick people into selling. So how high do they got to run the price up to get these people to shake out? And that's why the theory is buy, hold, diamond hands, and go to the moon, rip, and all that stuff. But that's the theory behind everything that's happening here. Is don't sell until you get a price that's respectable because they have to still buy.
I think they're playing with the days to cover and the cost to borrow, if you want my opinion, right? I think they're making it easy to hold a position, at a lower price for them, right? Because if the cost to borrow went up, they'd have to cover, and it's not going up really, not much.
Here's one thing to think about though. Like if you know that retail owns like even 80-90% of the float, whatever, we're just being conservative. And the institutions reportedly on books are showing, 34, 36%. Well, there's probably 1% in there spinning around like this, like 100 times a day. And nobody's buying it. They're just playing with it and they're creating this volume. So when they create that volume, it actually lowers your days to cover. So whenever they stop spinning that plate and they have to go in and get them shares, that cost to borrow or that days to cover is going to go through the roof. And that's what you're going to end up seeing. That's how they're manipulating the data.
Froggy, I got a question here on site. Says, good afternoon, CS Trades. Your thoughts, you said there was no shorts on dividend stocks. I never said that. There's no synthetics. Synthetics, my friend. There's no synthetics in a dividend play. There's no such thing because it's covered by the feds. You can't have a ghost share. They want their taxes on it. Sorry if you misunderstood that, but I've never said that. Sorry, maybe it was misconstrued, but it's synthetics, my friend. I just want to be very clear on that. Yeah, they can short it. They can short it big time. I've been in Suncor Energy for years. I know all about that play, and I do have the short lists of all the stocks on the New York and Toronto Stock Exchange, the squeeze list. So, yeah, my friend, I'm glad you brought that up. Good question, my friend. So that's just to everybody else out there. That's why with GME, this is a beautiful thing. It's gonna get rid of the synthetics, right? Straight up. It doesn't go any other way. Thank you, my friend. That was a beautiful question. Sorry, Froggy.
No, you're fine. Here's another question that came up here. It says, just to put it out there for consideration, outside of the compartmentalization, I think that 1348 Astro's latest video trades idea, extreme gains, are all into the same thing. I like where they're going with the 1348. It actually does kind of help people that don't know how to trade. I mean, would you guys agree?
I think it's in a market like this, I think it's very easy to use if you can't use other techniques. I use it because you can trade it anytime. So it's easy to trade, right? So if you have an alert system, you can get it right then and there. When you set up a bunch of stocks to do it, you're good to go, right? When that cross happens, you jump in. So I personally like it because of the alert system. You're not chasing stocks on the thing. right, on your platform, right? You get an alert, you go to that and you look at it, the chart at that. But you still need to know some charting for sure on the 1348. I don't know what Extreme Games does on his channel. I've heard about it. I haven't really seen it. Something about that algo thing, but I'm not sure what that is. And I'm not sure what you're referring to about Trey and Astros. If you're talking about the video that was just recently posted, I mean, I think there should be more conversation on that. That's what I say.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys hear anything about the government with they're having a meeting right now? Did you guys hear anything about that at all? What that's going on?
No, I completely missed it.
Yeah. Does anybody in the chat know any? Are they raising interest rates or anything? So I'm just curious. It doesn't really. Well, it does affect Canada, of course. Everything does, but it really doesn't affect us directly. But it does. It affects the whole world, right?
Yeah, that meeting happened earlier at 2:00, and I think they that was the Fed minutes, and that's why the market came down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before I forget, slap that Will Smith that like button.
Oh, I heard on the way here. I was going in traffic after I dropped my wife off to get her hair done at the hair salon, and I heard Will Smith on the radio, buddy. I had to crank it, and I'm sitting in there. Look at these teenagers, look at me, just shaking their head like this. I'm listening to Will Smith. It was funny. They're like, "Look at this geek." It was hilarious. Man, I was thinking of you, Froggy.
Oh, I know. It's kind of nice to play with that a little bit. I got a sound for a couple different things here I want to add in, but we'll see if I can work it in there.
I have a question asking you, Froggy. It says, Froggy, do you think Gary Gensler is the main puppet for the SEC?
He's a puppet for somebody, but I don't think it's the SEC. He's clearly not doing his job. I mean, when it comes down to feet dragging, he gets the employee of the year. Because, like, if they wanted to take care of something, they would have just taken care of it.
Like the Darkpool could have been seized. There's enough information there to put it off on halt.
They have the power to shut down the Darkpool. They have the power to shut down the market maker. They just let it go. So when you don't want to go and step on the toes of your future employer, that's exactly what they're doing. Is like if from what I understand, the SEC is paid for from our taxpayer dollars, and they're not protecting the taxpayer. So, in my opinion, I think they're all frauds. They should all be in jail. So, but I don't like the SEC, and I'll probably stand firm behind that statement until they actually do something.
They should put one of us in there that would do a better job.
I'll just say that.
Will the panel give your thoughts on BBIG? Anyone from the panel?
Do I own it?
Touch that one?
I don't own it, but I can find I can find today's short percent of float. I can find all the information on it if you want.
Yeah,
I don't own any.
Yeah, look it up. I think it's got a high float. You pulling up a chart, Froggy?
Yeah, I'm pulling up a chart.
I think it's really shorted.
I'm going to pull up the squeeze chart.
YMC there.
Okay, so
go ahead. Go ahead, Trey.
It's a little bit overbought as of right now. I know it doesn't sound like that, but on a short term, for the 30-minute, it's overbought. It got a sell check mark, and it did come back pretty aggressively. I'm not sure if it's going to double bottom or if it's going to go lower, but it's on its way down. Short term, let me check out the 2 hour to see if it's actually coming back up. You got a buy check mark on the 2 hour, so it should be uptrending. So on the longer term, it should be popping back up. You're going to be looking at that 312. So what that's telling me is it's going to come down a double bottom. Let me create that line here so I can figure out where it's going to be. So probably about 285 is going to be the bottom. They'll probably bounce off of that, and then you'll go into a we got to get back above 299. That'll be your neckline break, and then you can work your way all the way back up to 316 and retest that level. So I think it's going to come right off this bottom and continue to go higher. I'd expect it to pop over 3 probably by Friday. So
I got the squeeze list here for it. It is in a squeeze territory zone. Anything above a 10 is. Its short percent of float is 13.75, and that's all for hedge fund documents. That is not Ortex. Okay, there you guys go.
question by Mr. L says, do you believe that max paying, cost to borrow, SSR, and all those things people care about actually are important? Yeah, unfortunately, max paying's real. It shouldn't be. Obviously, max paying is basically also known as manipulation. Cost to borrow,
I love
that
you, Froggy.
should be
Man.
much higher than it is. So I don't know what they're exactly doing to keep
You're
it down.
hilarious. Sorry. I love you, Froggy. Sorry, buddy. Oh, you're hilarious.
SSR never really mattered. I think it's just they pretend there's boundaries, but the market maker still does everything full on. It's not until it goes on the what the heck is it called?
Circuit breaker.
No, it goes on that list where you can't go and like short it anymore.
SSR?
No, it's the other one.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, bud. Where you can't short it anymore. Like, I don't understand. I've never heard of that.
No, hold on. I don't even know if I still have the list on here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
I wanted to say something. Do Weston. Is that Weston? Weston, if you come on early in the morning with myself and Mediocre, I will go through the squeeze list, and anybody on here, I'll go through your stocks with you. It's just that it's kind of hard.
Threshold list.
Thresholds. Yeah.
Threshold list. Okay. Yeah.
When it goes on there, that's the only one that really matters. But they still don't honor that anyways because they just make fake shares and cover it. So that's how they don't force the price to go up. SSR. I mean, in theory, it makes sense because it shuts off, I think, brokers from shorting it down, but it still allows the market maker to run wild because they have it exempt. So they do matter. Max Payne's the biggest one. That price pinning effect is just nasty. So my opinion, all those have nothing to do with the squeeze. Technically, yeah, you're kind of right. They cost to borrow really doesn't matter. It's an indicator letting you know when it's too hard to get any more shares, and that cost to borrow should have been sky high by now. SSR, that won't really help us at all for the squeeze. And Max Payne, if you can get them to stop controlling the stock, Max Payne won't matter either. So pretty much right on that.
Can you guys look for West? He asked this question yesterday. We told him to come back today. We told him to come back this morning, but apparently he wasn't able. Can someone look at MULN and NILE and ASR? Those are for Western W.
Let me get MULN first. Short term, it's actually losing volume. It's getting squished in there, but it's temporarily overpriced. It's probably going to come back down to 255 in short term. On longer term, it's oversold just like the rest of the market. Let's see if we got a wedge or anything to play with here. So we're waiting for it to pop back up.
Whoa. She's ready to. She's on a huge squeeze. She's 42.66% at float. It's just below HYMC. That's high. It's almost double AMC. Not saying it's going to squeeze, my friends. I'm just saying it's on the hedge fund squeeze list.
Yeah, you're waiting for it to pop back up to 288 to confirm breakout. Once it does that, then you can start moving your way back up to 315. I don't know if you'll get all the way up there to the top, but I'd be expecting it to cross 288 tomorrow.
That's also tall.
Keep an eye on that 315 because, I mean, that might be where it stops for the week, but just keep an eye on it. It is oversold, so it should be going back up. And what was the other one that you were talking about stock-wise?
I'm not sure what the other one was. I didn't have my pen handy, so I didn't write it down. Miss Harris, what was the other one?
I'm sorry, I was on the highway. NILE and A as in apple, F as in Frank, T as in Tom, and R as in Robert.
Thank
there
you.
was 3 of them?
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry.
All right, so for Nile for the second one, NILE, it became overbought sell check mark did kick up, and it's coming back down right now on short term on a 30-minute. Now, judging by the way the market's been running, most likely you're going to probably come back down to 60 cents, 62 cents. Let's go to the, okay, so your 2 hour is already gold crossing, so it should be popping up, period, in the longer term. So if it does pull back, you'd be lucky to see it come back down there. I don't know if that's a double touch there or not. It does look like a double touch.
Yeah, it's not on this. It's 8.83. It's too low to squeeze, my friends, on the percent of float.
Trying to see what we got. There's a lot
But it's a good play.
Looks like it's breaking out already. We'll have to wait and see where it goes, but I think with it being 2 hour gold cross, it should pop up. So
I'm sorry, you said that A was ATER. ATER.
Alter.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Now you see this right here on the 2 hour, we got a triple dip. That's very unusual. You don't usually get triple dips. So something weird's definitely going on. But would they do a fourth dip? I don't think so. We're already gold crossing. So like I said, I think it's going to definitely pop above that 69-cent range and work its way up to probably, why is it not? Let me touch that. We'll be looking at that 78 possibly, but I'm going to bring it down to be more conservative at 74. So let's see if we can get to 74 tomorrow, but it's definitely going to pop and break upward. I just don't know where it's going to go, but definitely up. ATR is next.
Yeah, it's ready. Here, I just got 16.19% short of float. I'm not saying it's going to squeeze, but it is in the area of it could possibly. I'm not saying any of these are going to squeeze. It is in that area that it could. Okay.
Is that an uptrend? I can't tell what that is. Looks like an uptrend.
Looks like it to me.
Yeah, that's an uptrend.
Yeah, for sure it is, man. We'll see tomorrow.
That's a nice volume candle right there.
Go cross over bought on the 30. Buy signal late day today. I think it's popping up now. Let me get rid of some of these lines.
It's already 2 o'clock. Holy crow. Wow. I'm going to have to bounce, guys, pretty soon. I got to go to pick up the wife from hair salon here pretty soon. So I'll stick on until I get that phone call. It'll be happening any minute. In case you see my camera shut off.
All right.
Appreciate you, buddy.
So we're looking for a bounce to possibly get back up there to 425 on ATER. But I'm going to be conservative and say that it's probably something lower because there's going to be levels to it. Maybe. About 396. I'm going to bring that down. Look at that 394 roughly. See if it gets back up there. That'll be the third touch on that wedge. Definitely looks like an uptrend. So it would be nice to see that continue. If you get that break above 394, I mean, obviously it's going to go higher, but see if it can break that. That's what's holding it down right now.
Oh my God.
Let me see if I can get through these questions real quick because I know that I want to try to get off here in about 30 minutes, so we'll try to wrap it up here soon.
Oh, you don't have to rush because of me, man. So, you want to keep them short anyways. Yeah, I understand. Down to 230.
Difference is the IRS knows GME is going to blow, and they just want to make sure we pay our taxes. Otherwise, why would the IRS put tags on each share? That's exactly pretty much it. They want to keep tabs of the shares.
That's an interesting concept. I didn't even think of that. I like that comment.
question. People care about the cost to borrow, SSR, threshold list, max pain. Do you feel any of those things are going to cause the squeeze? Not really. I don't. Threshold list could actually help, but they figured out how to get around that too.
SSR, no.
Yeah, SSR supposedly prevents it from going down, but
Yeah,
usually
I'm
they
never-
can trigger SSR and still pound it down another 6% and act like it didn't happen.
Yep, they can.
Yeah, they do it every time. It's annoying.
Savvy says, I don't know how to play options. I just buy and hold. Yeah, it's the safest play. I mean, I'm not going to say that anybody should be trying to play options when they don't know how, because it's how you lose your money easy. And the
Right.
market maker makes money on every transaction you do. They make nothing on buy and hold.
Savvy knows. Smooth brain. Only eat banana and buy stock.
I'm getting hungry with all those bananas behind you there, Mediocre. That's a
I
big
know,
pile
right?
of bananas. Can I have one of your bananas? I'm getting hungry behind you. Can you grab one, please?
Banana good.
Banana. I'll say it the Canadian way. Banana.
Mr. L says, Froggy, are you familiar with the Greeks and options, and how important are they? Very important, actually, because like you need to know like what your contract's going to do for you and how much it's going to cost you to have it and that kind of stuff. So learning your Greeks is definitely important. And before buying an option, must know them. I mean, you could do a swing trade and just jump into leverage and get back out. There's a chance that you're going to get smoked. Strike price is important. There's so many variables, and if you're not familiar with it, I would definitely stay away from it until you understand strike price, Greeks. Time is very important, because if you don't give yourself enough time and you miss a cycle, you can get blown out. So there's strategies to it, and everybody has a different strat. And I don't know. Eventually, we'll cover some of these different things that we do to make extra money on our plays and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot to learn with options.
Yeah, you guys are right. I am running on fumes. I stayed
You know
up late
why?
to watch
I
those
get him up so
videos.
early, and I talk to him at like 3:34 in the morning, and we do our rehearsal stuff. And then he's not used to this, man. He hasn't had his afternoon nap. Us old guys have to have naps, and I haven't had mine. So it's just wait until you guys get old. Some of you.
Yeah, there was a lot going on last night. I'll be honest. I was watching videos, talking to Cam, talking to Casey Shaw, trying to get Casey Shaw over here this morning. I am tired. Thanks for noticing. I'm sorry. I'm yawning, guys. Go ahead, Froggy.
Yeah.
Ancard says, I think the subject was aimed for pro option traders to rally. Might have been. I mean, people that know what they're doing with options, I mean, that probably is exactly what they were doing, because I would highly doubt that Trey and Astro is going to put people in that position to get smoked, because I know that they care about the people too. I think it is directed towards people that understand how it works. And yeah, there is a rock the boat strategy that could work here, but it'd be nice to see how they figure it's going to work with no delta hedging. Rob says AMC can't do dividend until the debt is paid off, right? Technically, no. There's covenants put in place, debt agreements that are put in there so they can't have a dividend. And like I said, Adam Aaron was trying to get that removed or lightened up to where they could offer a dividend. It would actually save the company in its own sense, because then you would get rid of all the synthetics and the naked shorting and all that goofy stuff, and it would give you more of a true price of the stock. So
Sanjay's a smart ass. I just want to put that out there.
Hopefully Adam Aaron will come out with the results on whether he was able to do it or not. Corey Ryder says it's like the cops allowing the bank robbers to keep robbing with slaps on the wrist. That's exactly what the SEC is. They see Wall Street doing criminal stuff, and they're like, oh, no, stop it, stop it.
I have one that says, Froggy, or penny stocks more easier to manipulate than the blue chips stocks. Please give your opinion.
I don't like penny stocks. It's not even, I like a blue chip because you can guarantee a cycle almost and play it with a true pattern. You can always make money on a blue chip because they're so like consistent and safe. So it's easier to go in with options. do a quick scalp, make 25 to 30%, like just over and over and over again. And it's more fun because like it's skill. Where a penny stock, I mean, you're talking about you're risking it and hoping to make money. And I don't like risking it for nothing.
See, this is why I like us coming on. I like penny stocks. Okay, so I like there's certain ones, if they're wave action, you got to have lots of money to put in. If it moves 80 cents to $1, you can make a lot of money on a wave action. I did lots with that COVID pill and Tarnazaraz. I made a killing on that. But that's not options. They're totally different. Okay, I'm just being very clear here. We're totally different. I'm just saying you can make money on different things. That's why it's awesome us coming together like this. Okay.
Someone's asking who is that speaking. His name is Mr. Cam, CSTrades. Mr. Cam, that's who's speaking about the pennies.
Yeah. Like, I'm not objective to people penny stock trading. I just don't like that kind of risk.
It's a forte. It's a totally different thing. It's like it's like white and black. It's totally different. Froggy's.
I mean,
we're right on that.
Then again, you look at it. I'm over there investing in foreign currency, hoping that there's a reset to it. It's almost the same thing. You're either going to get a big bang for your buck, or you're going to get blown out. And like I took that risk. Just because to me, I'm sitting here looking at like, I think it's a high percentage of chance that it's going to get reset because it would only make sense. And if it doesn't, I mean, I'm out a couple $100. If I'm right, then I make like $500,000. So I took that risk.
Did you make
$500,000? Here's
$500,000?
one that says, Froggy, please explain why U.S. retail should buy on the lit exchange.
Oh, so it doesn't get given to the market maker who uses your data against you. He also does all kinds of weird shenanigans with your stuff, and you don't actually get true value of your trade. Some of the trades don't even make it to lit, so they do everything with all their goofy like stuff over there. And when you go to a lit, it eliminates all that circus act, and it goes right in, and you get like a realistic market trade.
Oh. Okay, the people want to know, can you pin your where they can find you at? That's where they can find you at. Your channels. That's what they're asking.
CSTrades101. Just Google it or just look it up on YouTube. There should be did you put a link down below? I don't know. I could throw it up, but I don't have one. I'll throw it up right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, it's CSTrades101 and then /Wolfpack. Okay. But CS Trades is good enough. I'll throw a link up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thanks, Ma.
Froggy, it goes, Froggy. What's the difference between the algorithm and the bot? Both are computer generated. A bot is mainly, it says the bot mainly told what to do. And is it fair to say an algorithm is designed when to do? Your thoughts, please.
No, algorithm is pretty much a bot anyways, depending on how you look at it. It could be a computer running an algorithm. They call it a bot. Or now that thing that BlackRock has is supposedly like a robot AI kind of thing. And it depends on what you're looking at, but they all do the same thing. It's like non-human control that's programmed into it to do certain things. So when you look at it, they're all using an algorithm, period. Whether it's a robot, an AI, a computer, they're all pretty much algorithms. So they're pretty much all kind of the same.
Now, Froggy, do you mind pinning or telling what indicators you use to do your trading on?
Yeah. The main one I do use on TradingView, pull it up here.
That's from Litty Garcia. She's asking that.
Yeah, this main one that I use here with the blue lines and the red lines with these little check marks and stuff, that's called Evan. If you go into indicators, go down to community scripts, type in Evan, it pops up there. The first one right there, Evan Cab World Binary Strategy 2, and it has a bunch of things in there. It's like three indicators in one, and it's pretty nice. And then they've just got the basic MACD, RSI. I do have the vortex indicator. I'm just using that as like another addition to my collection because I can hold 5, and then I got the money indicator, which is a special one. But other than that, that's when you got the free one. That's all you pretty much need is the MACD and the RSI and the Evans, and that's pretty much it.
Froggy, this is from Matthew. He just thought, I believe the hedges are taking one share and letting it out over and over, never producing the real share. That causes failures to deliver. It needs your opinion, though. Thank you.
I think you're right. I think they're just spinning like a small amount of shares around in circles because there's like no way that we're getting 50 million volume with like 1% of the floating around up there. So unless we're like way over, it would make sense. But which I'm pretty sure we're way over, but I think we're still holding it anyways. Here's a comment by Pantheon. It says reducing the central bank balance sheet by 95 billion a month. It's going to take them a long time to reduce it down because they got a lot on there. So that's actually not very much. But you'll feel it in the market when they start pulling it out because it's leveraged.
Okay, guys, I got to wrap her up. It was thanks, Froggy. I gotta get over to Abbotsford here and pick my wife up with her nice, expensive haircut she got. What you gotta love girls and their hair. Oh my God! As much as I'm making YouTube for 3 months,
you better go get her. You better go get her so you got a place to sleep tonight, or you'll be out in the camper.
Hey, you're married. You must be married. Okay. Anyways, love you guys. Lots. Wolfpack, Froggy Show, and Mediocre. I will see you guys. Froggy will be stopping by in the morning, like always, to say hi to us while he's at work. We will be in on the morning. I think we might have a guest tomorrow morning. I don't know. I'm just waiting for some feedback on that. But Mediocre will be there. And look for the stream link because we're going to be starting a little bit earlier tomorrow morning. Okay. Love you guys. Lots. You have a great night. Thanks.
Later,
man.
I'm going to sleep tonight for sure. I can tell you
sleep
that.
is good.
This is from Dreams, Froggy. He said, Froggy, Bigham, Master Lorian, and Boss Blunt are right. We have been misled by YouTubers for watching the lines. They didn't know crap. I'll say crap. They said something else. Your opinion, please.
No, 100% right. I was talking to Bigham's, and like, I do see what was going on there. Like, I don't want to get into all the details, but like, it is kind of weird that there's a group that's saying watch the line, and they're saying patience, like basically trying to draw it out. Nobody here wants to be more patient and just keep drawing this out year after year while the popular YouTubers end up making a ton of money just basically milking it out day by day. A lot of us want to see action or something happen and see the play come to a close, and it's not getting there. So that's why there's people like Bigham's and Boss Blunt still working every day to get DD to try to find out like what's the problem. And the ones that are still working, you should definitely appreciate them because like they haven't given up the fight since day one. The other ones that have large followings, they're sitting back and they're not doing much of anything because they're just kind of riding it out, getting like easy views, and that's it. And they're not providing any real content or anything. Like there's a solution to everything. And if you look at it, like people like Maz, me, Pantheon, like Tony, Cam, MediocreTrader, we got tired of watching all this crap that's being pushed on us. So we came forward and we're just basically picking up where they left off. And so this
chat is saying super chatting. Do you agree with that? The chat is all saying super chatting.
Well, I'm not against super chatting. I mean, nobody's forced to pay, and you shouldn't feel obligated to pay. So, I mean, if you do pay somebody, it's your choice. I mean, I understand both sides of it, like because there's an easy way to criticize Matt, but then you look at it too. If it wasn't for the super chats, Astro would have been screwed because he was trying to make a living on it, and you still need to make enough money to be able to live on to be a YouTuber. So, and the views don't really cut it. So I see both sides of it. And
It's time.
You got to survive one way or the other. So that's why it does get done. But, in some cases, some people were taking advantage of that, and that wasn't cool. With like $500 to $1,000 super chats, that's ridiculous. Like, I'd be ticked if somebody gave me 100 and they were accepting 500s over and over. And it's like, that's crazy. But I mean, if somebody wants to drop a sticker, that's cool. But once you start getting into them bigger numbers, I mean, I think at that point, you'd have to feel guilty taking it. But, yeah, I'm not even criticizing Lou for actually making money on YouTube either. He's getting normal views and he doesn't take super chats. But the part that I didn't like was the fact that he said he was making no money, and he was. I mean, that's as blatant lying as you can get. So, I mean, if you want people to trust you, you got to tell the truth.
Now, this is from Connie and Corey. She says, Froggy, I'm new to the market. I hear over and over, leave your emotions out of this.
Yeah.
How is that even possible when someone is stealing from you?
That's a good question, because it's hard not to get ticked off when you see what they're doing to us. They're blatantly stealing from us, but you got to kind of have faith in the process that it's going to work out in the long run, because they're still trapped. Of course, they're fighting tooth and nail to survive, because that's what they got to do. But they still have to buy their way out, and no matter which way they do it, they make you money in the long run. So, just always look at the positive, I guess. But this should never been allowed to go on this long in the way that they've done it. So I agree. If somebody got mad about the situation, I mean, I'm right there with you. It makes total sense, because none of this should have ever happened. And the fact that it's here and they're still pulling shenanigans, I mean, we get to see all the bad players, and their day is coming. Like, people aren't happy with SEC, the market maker, the hedge funds. I mean, even the Fed, they all look guilty. So eventually the truth will come out, and people will have somebody to hate when it's all done, because they put us through all this mess for this long.
Market transparency. That's what we're all really here for, right?
Transparency is important.
That's really kind of what
it's
all about.
Darla. She said, Froggy, I agree with Bigum. YouTubers talk too much, telling every movement for popularity. If YouTubers stop, we might eventually have this thing squeezed. Your opinion, please?
It would be nice if the community was united together instead of being divided. There's a lot of division that goes on. Like, I know Trey and Astro didn't mean to cause any division by their video. They were looking to try to come up with a solution, but it's going to cause division short term. But then eventually people will realize that it was a attempt to make a difference, and then like everything will be fine in the long run. So I don't want to see them guys take any hate because of, it's just a suggestion. It's not
Right.
like, they've ruined the play for us. I mean, what if they're right and they found something? I mean, they're smart guys. What if they found something that we're all not looking at? So we need to check into it and say, hey, what did you really find? Like, what are you really looking at? Like, enlighten me here, because maybe they found something special and it doesn't look like that in the video to me. But well, if we have a sit down talk about it and I get to ask them the hard questions, I mean, we'll get real answers. And I'm sure that's what everybody that would come on my channel would want to do, is ask the hard questions. And if they can answer it and it makes sense, maybe it's something to think about. But, suggesting people that are inexperienced with options to go and play options is even more risky. So, I mean, I think we've done good to this point. It'd be nice to see it come to an end eventually.
Yeah, and I think everybody like coming together, like putting out proper information and all that, and kind of uniting the way that things have been going lately is pretty good. I don't think that they intended on, and they knew they were going to take heat from it. They said it right in the video. They knew they were probably going to take heat, right? But I don't think they were intending to deter what's going on. I think They're just trying to open up people's minds to look at something. And I don't blame them.
Yeah. Oh, lost my space call. It ended up getting too hot. Miss Harris, if you're listening, hold on. It says, Sam says, do you not see Astro is in the cahoots with Mark Cahotis? I didn't even know Astro was talking to Mark Cahotis, to be honest. Do you not see the conflict here? Where did Astro disappear for the months? I have no idea, but he did. Astro was actually taking care of personal issues in that period of time. I'm actually kind of surprised my phone shut off. It's getting hot.
I hope it's good.
Sam also says, Froggy, you're supporting bad actors like Astro. Astro is the same guy that said he would burn down. What? I never heard him say that.
I don't watch Astros, so the only video I watched of Astros was last night. I'm going to be honest. And
hold on. Yeah, first off, Sam, I've never actually seen Astro say anything about he would burn down the community. Second off, I'm not being naive nor gullible. I'm open for debate. So he might have. I mean, I never seen it. So, I mean, the fact that him and Trey are working together to try to come up with a solution, I mean, like I said, I'd like to debate what they came up with.
I mean, we work together every day, right? We trade information every day. I think it's important for us to trade information, right? I have no issue with them trading information and putting it out there, right? We can discuss it, and I just think people need to have a bit of an open mind. And I'm not saying to run out and try their theory right now. I didn't say that at all. I'm saying that we should talk about it. That's all.
I support Trey and Astro as long as they're doing positive stuff, and the fact they came up with an idea that even me as an option trader is skeptical on. I mean, I'm not going to bash them and vilify them for making one suggestion that's kind of conflicting. You know what I mean? I do want to have a debate on it. So
I think options are complicated, and a lot of people don't understand options. And so I think if we have more options, and I'm no specialist, I'm going to say that right now. I just play long puts and long calls and easy stuff. You know what I mean? I don't do none of that crazy stuff. So, but I mean, to get options people to talk about what they're talking about, to try to come up with a solution, I think isn't a bad thing.
Letty asked me a question. It says, Froggy, what's the indicator you use on TradingView in order to get the buy and sell signals? That is called, if you go to the community tab, it's called EVAN, EVAN. And it's like a 3-in-1 indicator. I love it. It's like the best indicator I've ever actually used. And you can get that one with the free version of TradingView, add it with MACD, volume, and RSI. So it's like having 5 indicators in one. I didn't know I was that far behind on my chat. Give me a second here.
Ignore all the sand, JV, no smart ass. I'm sorry.
Weston says, where's the Monday indicator? That's actually one of my special indicators. So that's why I'm looking for another one to get made, but we'll have to wait and see if I can get it done.
On TradingView, are you allowed to take an indicator down and put another one up, and then take that one down and put another one up if you wanted to?
Yeah.
What's the difference then? I hate when my chart's cluttered anyway. I do the same thing on Thinkorswim.
That's why I paid for the 5 indicator chart, so I didn't have to keep taking it down. It was convenient just to pay the $15, but
I hate all that shit on my chart, to be honest.
That's the first time my phone shut down in a minute for being too hot, but it's been on charger pretty much all day.
Yeah, that is the first time it's happened in here. Sorry to Ape Radio or the Twitter space, whatever it is.
Yeah. That kind of messes things up here. I'm going to actually turn the speaker off so it doesn't make weird noises.
What do you think about Twitter and your boy there, Elon Musk? Think he's going to make changes? Can he? Does he have the ability to?
I hope once he hits, I think he has to get to like a certain percentage. It would be nice to see him start changing the rules inside of Twitter so we can have a more of a less censored community, I guess, kind of. Because that's what people want.
Don't make Sanjay. Don't make me act like Trey acts when he acts like an ape. Don't make me do it. I'm teasing.
Oh yeah, here Dynamite says, yeah, some of them. This is talking about super chats. Some of them won't answer the question without loot attached to it, and I get that totally because I've done the same thing. I was over on Matt Kors' channel, and I actually myself paid super chats to try to get him to notice my comments. But if you look at it, Matt used to have 100,000 people on there at once on his stream. So in order to see your message, I mean, I get pretty busy with like 100 people, 200 people. If he's got 100,000 people flowing through there, when you get a super chat, it moves right to the front of the line. So it gives him like a flag to look at. I'm not saying that's what you should have to do, but that's just how it worked out. And like, I'm not sticking up for Matt because he's done a lot of weird things and he's kind of arrogant too. Like, but I mean, I kind of agree with you. There had to be money attached to it in order to get him to answer your question. But that's just by the way that the mechanics of YouTube is set up. It should not promote. It shouldn't run to the front of the list like it does. Because I think all questions should be created fair and equal. But that's just me.
So what are you saying? He's getting so many super chats he can't read regular chat?
Just about. He was getting so many at one point that's all he was reading was super chats because he, like I said, he had 100,000 people in there at one point, and that's what he was doing. It'd be chaos.
Yeah, that would suck.
He wouldn't even answer 1% of the questions.
Yeah, that sucks.
So that's when I knew that he was going to end up splitting up and people were going to go everywhere because they got questions they want them answered.
Yeah. I mean, I try to read the chat, and for example, Sanjay's been giving me a bunch of stuff, and Jay's going to time him out if he keeps it up. But but it gets busy. It does, and the chat moves pretty good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I can only imagine with super chats and more people how it could be a pain in the ass and be construed as something other than what it is. I don't follow Matt. I never followed Matt. But I had my own reasons for that. I wasn't really a fan.
I think what got him more grief than anything was the fact that he was being ignorant to the people. If he was just nice to people, I think it would have went by fine. But I mean, he was bashing people, asking like questions and stuff, and you can't do that. What if it was a new person coming into the community, and that's supposed to be like our, like he was going on Fox News and stuff, and people thought that he was like a representative of the community, and then he's being arrogant and ignorant to people, and it's like, you can't do that. Like, you got to be nice to people, like, or you're going to scare them out of the play. Here's Jeffrey says, united we stand, divided we fall. Let's go, guys. Yeah, exactly. We should all stand united. That's for sure.
100%. I agree with that. And that's why, like, I'm just going to say, like, Fashion Trey and Astro, like, for putting out those videos, they knew they were going to take heat. And
Oh yeah.
I'm on the other side. Like, I want to hear what they have to say, right? It's important. Like, I even want to hear what Matt has to say, but I don't really watch him, so I don't know what he's saying, but
Yeah, Pantheon's right here. He said, this is not new information from Trey or Astro. We've known for a while that they've been manipulating through the options chain. And he said he spoke about it months ago. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like Max Payne proves that they've been manipulating the options. And like everybody's been following Max Payne for like months. So everybody knows what's going on. Uh-oh. What's your dog doing? Keep
I
away
don't know.
from
There's
my
a cat.
But yeah, it's unfortunate we have to deal with Max Payne. And like I said, everybody's now starting to pay attention to Max Payne because they do mess with the options. And so it doesn't give me any confidence that we can actually go fight them in the options when they control those. So, I mean, yeah, he's pretty much right. In my opinion, they've been playing with, like, they've been manipulating the options since June. Because that was the last time that we had a real true push with options, because you can load the boat on the out the money side and they won't hedge those. You can load it in the money, they don't have to hedge those, and they'll cover on Monday, but they're definitely making the price go where they want it to.
No, I agree, but their conversation was interesting in what they were saying about what Trey said about pile driving it, and he was referring to either way, but that puts a lot of risk on traders too. We don't have the timing. All right, they trade at a much faster rate than we could ever trade. We're on slow internet, the whole deal. You know what I mean? It's more than just one thing, and so I think it's a lot more risky than just that. So I'd like to have the conversation just to see if there's any other way around what they're talking about.
I definitely want to debate about it. Like I said, I'm going to reach out to Astro and see if him and Trey want to come in and like stand behind their statement and see what they want to do with it, because they can't just put out a video and just leave it lie there. Like, if you're going to push it, I mean, push it. Come on and let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. In theory, it sounds all good, right? But here's a downside of it that nobody really brought up, and I'm just going to say it, right? And I'm just going to use the short side of the play real quick. If we pile drived it down, right? Well, how far down, right? How are we gonna know what price to drive it down to? Because if it hits zero, guess what happens? What happens when the stock price hits zero?
If you drive it down too low, well, first you can get it delisted. Second, they can actually start, like, the little hedgies can actually try to sneak out.
So that's kind of what I'm saying, right? It's something that needs to be discussed before anybody tries some stuff like that. And that's all I was saying, because that could possibly happen, if it gets too low, right? Because they're not going to constantly run it back up. I don't think. I think it's you to bring it down, to run it up a little, bring it down, because they're winning that way, right? They're lowering the price. That there's a lot of different things you got to look at that. I think so. That's the only reason why. But I'm not opposed to listening to what they got to say. I'm interested. That's all. Open mind. Free thinkers, guys. Free thinkers.
I listen to every point of view, and then I like to debate it to see if I'm right, they can either convert to me, or if they're right, I'll just convert to them. Or if I don't feel like playing games with it, I just won't. But I like to hear every idea. That's how you grow. Here's a comment by Sam. It says, I can't wait to hear Pantheon has to say about Trey and Astro's theory. Yeah, it would be nice to hear Pantheon's take, because, I mean, he's pretty smart on stuff.
Yeah,
Very smart.
it's hard for me to catch up. I try to listen to him too, but then I'm up all night too. Everybody's keeping me up at night. They don't let me sleep. I gotta have the information. Yeah, Casey had a good point on it too. You know, he doesn't disagree with them really either. It's just how it would operate. I talked with him about it today. Got any
See,
more questions?
I thought I was the only person that noticed them $500 super chats. Like, I remember when I seen them come in, and it just blew my mind when I'm seeing 500, 500, 500. I'm like, there's no way. So, could be from hedge funds, it could be from somebody, but that's nuts.
Yeah, that's a lot of cake. That's you know, somebody must have had a really good trade to leave a $500 super chat, I would think. What's he doing for that $500? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. I understand that's a lot of work to do this stuff. Believe me, I understand. I'm tired now just from last night alone. But Froggy goes nonstop. He gets up, goes to work, comes back, boom, he's here. He's doing stuff. How much sleep you getting, Froggy?
Like 4. That's why I'm already getting tired now. But so there's supposedly a tweet here about Elon reaching out for Zuckerberg, saying how much.
Really?
I'd like to see that. Facebook would be a good one to see. Get Elon don't have the money for that one.
No, I'm not. I'm not sure he does either. But
That'd be a good one for him to pick up. But he can restructure Twitter the way it sits right now and convert it over. Zuckerberg's got all them algorithms that's making him money with the ads. I don't think Twitter has that or as good.
I mean, I like Elon's thinking. I can tell you that. he thinks like I do. He got the money though. You know, I wish he called up DWAC and you know, tried to invest in that. Yep. My kitty cat. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
That's funny. Every day, same time, the mailman.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Yes. And I forget about it every day. I'm not paying attention. It's already too late.
Somebody's getting spam on our channel. Is that yours or Cam's?
Sanjay says, I don't know. Sanjay says 4 hours of sleep is more than enough. What do you say about that, Froggy?
Hey, 4 works for now. I mean, if I need sleep, I'll take a cat nap while I'm driving or something. Oh, wait, that's probably a bad idea.
You do like I do. I make my kids drive me now.
Well, he called it out right there. Will Smith, that like button.
Yeah, buddy. Good job, Danny. Sanjay's asking, where's the cat?
Oh, here's Pantheon. He's another good point that he's bringing here. We have one group saying kill ISDA banks for MOAS. We have another group saying hit options for MOAS. We need Astro, Trey, Bigums, Randall in one room to sort all this out. See, I agree 100%. I wish they would just come together, but like I understand like the background on what's going on here, and it is seriously divided because I know Bigums has reached out to Trey, and Trey never reached out back to him, so they're not like working together. So I know there's an attempt from one side, but the other side's not accepting. And that's not cool, because how are you supposed to unite people and work together when someone like Trey won't work with the rest of the community? So nothing against Trey, but you can't be like that. You can't just sit over there and be in your own little world and act like, people should all bow down and listen to you because you're like the OG of the community. But he should be in the center of the community, working with everybody, trying to figure out how to resolve this. And I know Bigums and Boss Blunts has reached out to those people and try to make things work, and they've been kind of brushed off. And that's not the way to do things. Like, they should all come in one big room together and have a powwow over it and come up with a solution. And
Yeah.
not what's happening. So it would be nice to see them all work together.
Yeah, everybody got to keep an open mind on what's best for the community in general, and and it should be civil, right?
Yeah, it should be civil, because if you don't agree with killing the ISTA banks for the MOAS, then you don't have to agree with it. I mean, at least listen to the idea. If you don't agree with hitting the options for the MOAS, then don't hit the options. But education is key. You should listen to both sides, and that's it. That's where it draws the line. Let the facts come out. Let them be facts. Don't let them be like a 15-minute video and saying this is going to fix the world. Like, if you're going to say play options, run to the communities and like talk to each person out there. There's like little groups everywhere, and explain to them why you're right. Don't just sit back and make one video and don't reach out to people and prove your theory. Like, Bigums is willing to come on and talk about ISTA banks. He wants people to know about it. Trey, who's he reaching out to? Nobody. Nothing against Trey, but you got to put in the extra effort. You know what I mean? That's just, you gotta be a team player. You can't just be sitting over there in your own world.
Right,
So,
the community's all separated. There's bits and pieces everywhere. Everybody's not watching Trey. Everybody's not watching Astro. Everybody's not watching Bigums, right? People are watching who they're watching, right? And I'm not saying that everybody, he's right and he's wrong, whatever. But if there's an idea or a suggestion, it should be discussed so that the whole community gets all the information. That's all I'm trying to say. And I think that's where Froggy comes in, and the rest of us trying to make a community where we can discuss all that and come up with the right answers, because I don't know everything. I'll admit that right now. I don't. And I know Froggy doesn't think he knows everything.
No, I don't know everything, but I do want to try to bring the community together. There's no reason why Trey won't work with Bigums. They're like, even if they didn't like each other, like, come on, for the people, get along, work together with each other, and do what's best for the people. Like, that's just the way it should be. So, but this not going to work with somebody for whatever reason, that's foolishness. That's selfishness. And it will come out in the long run too. Sam says here, there's a video of Trey a couple months ago clearly stating puts put downward pressure on the stock. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. When I was betting against USO oil, we were dogpiling in on that thing, loading up on puts, and we were driving that thing to the ground. So puts do drive down the price, especially when it's being delta hedged. But and I understand how delta hedging works too. So when them puts get picked up, that delta hedging goes away and it makes the price slingshot back up. So I understand how it all works, but I don't think they're delta hedging the way they used to. I think they've changed the game on us. And here's the statement that I wasn't going to mention, but I know about this backstory. It says, Bigums has tried to collab with Trey many times. It's obvious Trey is intimidated by Bigums or someone like Pantheon. I don't know if it's intimidation or what it is, but there is a weird divide there. Whatever the issue is between Bigums and Trey, and like I said, Trey or Bigums has reached out to Trey. There's no reason for Trey not to do a collab with anybody. So if he wants to help the community, you got to be a team player and work with people. So he needs to get off his high horse and start cooperating with people and try. If he doesn't, I mean, go stay in your corner and keep your comments to yourself.
Grab Carl's comment. Carl Keller.
Whose comment?
Carl Keller.
Let me get down there to it. Getting down there here.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely need to sort these out. Sam says, see, I pick up on these little things. Yeah, you're right on point. You're seeing the backstage stuff that's going on. So you understand there's a little bit of politicking that's going on, and there shouldn't be. That's the reason why this community's been so divided, is because there is politicking going on. And we could have been united a long time ago.
Right. And a lot of it too was, people were trashing technical analysis. There was a whole lot of things going on that shouldn't have been really going on, because you could do technical analysis on a stock, but if it's being pushed down so far that it's not near, indicators, right, to tell you it's going to be positive, you have no positive movement, right? And that's pretty much what was going on. And people were saying it hasn't worked in a year, which isn't necessarily true.
Is that the one you were talking about?
No.
Well, I'll address this one. It says, I think the theory that Astro and Trey have is interesting, but I also think they both could have done it in a more digestible manner. A lot of new investors are lost. Not that it's easy. Yeah, 100%. But I think, like it was already mentioned before, it was probably for the more experienced traders. Hopefully. I hope they weren't trying to push people into selling that didn't know what they were doing, and they're going to get smoked in the options. So, but I think as an experienced trader, me personally, I mean, I don't think day trading of AMC and GME is a smart idea, even with options. If you're going to buy the options, buy, hold it, because you never know when it's going to pop off. Where's the cat?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sanjay. I didn't block anybody. Show us your kitty. Thank you.
Sam says we have to make an APE commission or an AMC commission with Froggy, Pantheon, Casey Shaw, Biggums, Tony DeNaro, and Maz being the MC. Yeah, I would like to see a united community. That's just it. I'd like to see Astro, Trey, Biggums, Boss Blunts all sitting down under one video saying, what do you think of this information? Instead of there being like a Trey sitting here, an Astro here, a Boss Blunts over here. Let's get them all together. Let's get them working together. Like, that would make more sense. It'd be best for us. All of us. Teamwork is the key. Yeah, see, that's hopefully that's not exactly what Trey thinks of things. If Trey does think, like, he's only been doing collabs with Astro, and hopefully he doesn't really think that he can't do it with other people for whatever reason. So, but I'm going to reach out to Trey and Astro and see if I can get them to actually come and talk about the subject at hand that they put out. We'll see what happens.
I forget whose comment it was. It was a good comment, though. Until the market is more fair and until corruption against stocks are alleviated, the DD is not done. I would have to agree with you, Dr. Zano.
Sam, we need to get you on here on one of the space calls. It sounds like you're talking the same stuff I'm thinking. So I think it's self-preservation exactly. Like I called it out a couple months ago, actually. I said, I see what they're doing, and they should, instead of grouping up and hiding over there, they should be working with the entire community. And that's part of the problem is like they're isolating themselves from the rest of the group. So yeah, it would be nice to see everybody work together, period.
But I think that they're very relevant. I'll say that. I don't think they're irrelevant at all. I think they're relevant. I don't know what's going in their head, and I'm not really going to speculate, but I think the community aspect of it, they should really come bring their information and share what they got,
Hey, there's a good idea. Didn't think of this one. If the market crashed, Elon could afford Facebook. Maybe that'd be a win-win.
Yeah.
I guess somebody's looking to subscribe to your channel. They think that you blocked them already. Station's trying to find you.
I sent the link in the chat, so she should be able to get it because it's dual chat, right?
You have to drop it in my chat, actually.
Oh, here, I'll do it now. Yeah, I seen her. There we go. I tried to get it over to her.
Actually, she's over in the Wolf channel, so I can't get it over there.
Oh, I know what to do. I'll do this here. She might not be in here. She's not in there, I don't think. It's just MediocreTrader, one word. No space. MediocreTrader, one word.
Pantheon's got a good point. Don't trust theirs because they're always up to something. Yeah, Sam, my goal is to bring the community together and work on ideas together instead of having these like little click things floating around that's creating division.
And to get people to learn, right? Be able to look. Yeah, look at a chart and kind of see what we see, right? And then you're not worried about, asking somebody what's going on. You can kind of see it for yourself. And I think that's a lot of the problem too. Is some people don't want to really teach. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to probably wrap things up here in a second. We're getting close to the end here. All right, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. You see.
Perfect. I'm exhausted, to be honest, but I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd like to get Pantheon on here, get his brain turning, because he's the type of person I bet you I can ask him 100 questions and he'd have answers for everything. But let me see. Did my phone even fire back up yet? No.
Did it die? Did you smoke the battery?
Oh no, it got hot. It stayed shut down for a good minute. I tried to restart it twice and it kept shutting back down. So it's angry. Kind of like that cat. But yeah, if you hit that like button if you get a chance. I'll be back on later on tonight. I'm going to be doing coverage on AMC and GME, the technical analysis part of it. AJ is going to be back on with me later. Stocks that dip. So we're going to do like a quick 15 to 20 minute like stream on that just to put a video out. Yeah, just what Pantheon said right there. Everyone have a good laugh. Hug your loved ones. Don't get too serious until we mow ass. We're going to win this love life in your friends pretty much. So that's the way to look at it.
Yeah. Miss Harris, you're awesome.
So, yeah, tomorrow I know you're going back on with CS Trades, right?
Yeah,
the thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do a morning show. I think we're kind of starting to do that kind of every day, and just do like the morning, couple hours in the morning, right at open and all that stuff, and um, just go over some charting, some news, stuff like that, answer some questions and stuff, and then we go on, and then we meet up with Froggy at 3:30, and by then I'm already exhausted and I'm ready to go to sleep. So yeah, it's interesting. But you guys, we appreciate you. We appreciate the comments. The information, like all of it. It's all good. We ready to go?
Oh, hold on, my phone messed up again. Can't figure out if it's on or off. It's acting weird. Oh, it overheated again. Well, it must be broken.
That's what I think. It kind of died on you.
So yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow, same time. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Let me get this thing all set up here so we can
Oh,
close it
Cam's
out.
in here still. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. And thank you all for coming in here. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the mods. Miss Harris, you're awesome. Love you guys. And have a good night. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification on everybody's channels. And Froggy, thanks for having me again.
Yep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Have a good night and peace.